As a man, you're made in the arena. So what I mean by that is you choose a path, you study the path hard, you build yourself up, and then you start competing in that arena. It's just like a fight. It's like you're setting up for a fight. You're going to start a few group classes, maybe just to get a feel of the, combat sport that you're in. You start doing the fundamentals, you start doing light conditioning and sparring, and then you're going to have a coach, and then you've got a whole routine built around that, different systems, different techniques that better you as a fighter, but then also work with you as well. Now, I know the best coaches and the most healthy men have their own arena. Coaches, say bodybuilding coaches, strength and conditioning coaches in rugby, and I'd say maybe even fat loss, very, very specific. Same with guys that are in a specific field, say an accounting field, say the specific trades business, something where you have to, comes naturally to you. You got to continuously refine who you are and how to get better, and then start working on how do I become the best in that sort of field. I've seen the men that appreciate life the most, are grateful, see results. Life kind of comes to them effortlessly through, they get the relationship that they want. They have the holidays. They spend time with their mates. They get the body of luck that they want. They're very talented in sport, whether that be football, rugby, martial arts. And wherever they go, they've got this energy. We talk about aura. They get this energy that they're living, essentially, The most low energy people and the saddest people I know are the blokes that are grinding in the job. They may be doing all right at it, but there's nothing to substance to them. They're not really, they haven't decided. They maybe moved in back with their parents, which is okay, by the way. I know a lot of people have moved back in with their parents, but you should be trying to strive to get out of it. And that's where the arena comes in. You're building yourself into a warrior. You're competing, you're having a body of work, and that's where I believe where your fitness and health should supplement you. Because you're going to have that competitive energy. You're going to have that, I'm going to get stuff done. I don't have time to laze around. If I have to rest, I have to rest religiously. And it's for me to recharge to get back out to whatever I want to do. Say, with me, right now, my arena is the personal training industry. Right now, I'm in person. I'm probably going to go back, obviously, when I'm talking to you guys, back online. And then I've got my e-commerce project. By the way, anyone wants to get in shape, I've got a few spots available. I'll put the Calendly link below and I'll look after you. Especially if you need something specific, you need no BS, you're tired of scrolling around, I will look after you. I digress. I realized when I joined up in the fitness industry that I had to have my unique style. Coaching always came to me effortlessly. When I was younger, I was coaching swimming. I stepped away from it to start a uni degree in product design. I got good at that over time. I started enjoying it a bit more when I started connecting more with myself. I know it sounds a bit cringy, but when stuff opened up to me, that's when I and came natural to me. That's when I started to appreciate it more and progress. Same with fitness. I knew how to help young men between the ages of 20 to early 40s to, put on muscle, get ready for sport, and then make sure that they have a routine that's no BS. Then I realized that as I was progressing my journey, I had different sort of clientele, different people with different, obviously, goals, health issues, lifestyles. I realized that I had to differentiate myself. Not everyone's going to be in the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I need to build a system in place where 2 days a week is more than enough, but then they can fit in other forms of exercise outside, whether it be walking with a partner, girlfriend, whatever you want to call them, wife, walking the dog and the kids to sport as an example. But then they have 2 days a week where they balance themselves out, lift heavy weights, do a bit of mobility, and then have some sort of high intensity training woven in between there just so they can increase their heart rate up. I knew that I had to be on top because I'm working Southeast Sydney area at the moment, and there are a lot of gyms around me. I've got other PTs coming into my gym that don't even work there. And I've also had PTs apply for the job. I knew I had to be on the game. If I wanted to be the best personal trainer, I actually got awarded Personal Trainer of the Year, fun fact, last year. I digress again. I knew that this is my arena, and that if I wanted to extract the best of this and the best of myself, and I wanted to see results, tangible results for my clients, I wanted testimonials so I can get on more clients on board and then potentially obviously hire and recruit other PTs to work under me. I needed to be the best in my arena. I had to be good at sales. That's where I was probably wanted to work on the most at the start. Then it came to marketing. I was like, okay, I need to market myself a bit more. How do I get more people seeing who I am and also getting my voice and message across to different platforms and different systems and different suburbs and different places in the world so that they can actually find me? And then, most importantly, how does my work ethic, how do I structure my work ethic? What days work best for me? How do I get the maximal energy out of, writing and doing the programming as well? Because you got to remember, even though this came naturally to me, I still had a ton of work to do. So it's the same with any sort of model or, career path or business. How do I get what comes naturally to me? What systems do I need to work on in place and put in place for me to progress? And how do I compete? This is what's going to increase your hormonal profile with your testosterone. This is what's going to bring out the best of you. This is when you attract the quality of people that you want to attract. This is where you get your testimonials. This is where you get your cash, so you can do whatever you want. Do you want to splash it out on a holiday? Do you want to buy that bloody Rolex? Do you want to, I don't know, do you want to just sit around and not be disturbed for a period of time? Whatever. This is the fundamentals of what it comes to being the man in the arena. And this is what they call purpose and the mission. You see it with fighters as well. Fighters start out, they maybe played sports in the past, they got into the gym, slowly started progressing, working on themselves, and then they're in the UFC, and then the ball game really starts kicking off. How do I get the best out of myself? Who's this guy? Video reviews. What other skills do I need to upgrade myself? And then what does it take for my mind to be a champion mind? This is the most difficult part, is when you've started getting everything and then you have to cultivate your mind. How do I become a champion in the mind? Well, firstly, obviously, I don't give up. Secondly, what systems in place do I get to win? And how do I get, obviously, it depends, the reps or the leads or the time and volume I need to progress to where I want to be. The amount of money that I want, the championship. How do I shorten the time, or what time frame do I need in order to get the most what I want? So this is what I love about being the man in the arena the most, is that you will learn through failure as well. Same thing in the gym. How many times have we gone months and months and months seeing progress, stronger? Our bench is better. Our squats have gone up. But then we do a deadlift one day and then our back tweaks. And now we're back to square one. We're going to a physio. We have to do these new exercises now. Then we'll have to balance out my body this way, my spine this way. I've got to start moving properly again, teaching myself how to do a deadlift. Before you know it, I was on 130 kilo deadlifts. I cooked my back. Now I have to start again at 80 kilos and I have to build my weight back up. And now I'm back at 120. A year later, all of a sudden, after maybe another 6 months, I'm on 160 kilos deadlift because I put the right structures in place. Now I know how my body works and then what I need to do to work around it. This is what I mean by being the man in the arena. Find what comes best to you, build systems around it, and constantly grow, because if you don't grow, you're going to get bored of it, and that's when it's time to move on to a new arena. Be hyper competitive, and being competitive is good. That's what's going to give you energy. It's going to give you a better confidence about yourself, especially when you start winning and competing. And then the best thing is you're going to be rewarded for your hard work for serving people. That's what we're here for the most, is to look after the people that matter to us the most, and to be someone of substance, not be someone working a dead-end job, complaining about how bad women are, and not living in a place they don't want to be, whether it's with their parents and not growing up properly. There's so many young men now that are just complainers now. They're living with their parents. They don't understand the rejection, and the rejection and failure is a part of life. This is the arena. So again, I'm just going to put out there that find your arena. If you need help with the arena, if you need a training program that's going to work towards your routine and your arena, and then you also need, obviously, to structure all that together. We're going to put the Calendly link below, and there's a few other links there. I've got a few other things coming out. I've got a little ebook that's coming out that's going to be free, so just keep your eyes for that. And yeah, I've got a few other things going on the side. I'm working on some e-commerce stuff, but we'll go into that a bit later. There's also going to be a video. I don't know how this stuff works, but there's going to be a video in the channel about how like why I smoke cigars as a personal trainer. So contrasting myself a little bit. So peace out, and then find your arena, work on yourself, and be the best that you can be.